Hey, everybody. That is Gary Smith.
Hello, it's hot in here.
That is Kaz Kenny.
Bam!
And I'm Eddie Bramble, and this is episode 61 of the Blackwater's Edge podcast.
I'm waiting for 6 more numbers. That's what I'm waiting. Or no, wait a minute. I'm waiting for 8 more numbers.
8 more numbers.
I wonder why we can't take some of this money we're making
Hey,
and buy air conditioner.
Yeah.
well, look, here's what I'm thinking, okay? So let's just put this out there, okay? We know
here
that
we
there's
go.
lots
Here
of great
we
heating
go.
and air conditioning people here in Dorchester County, especially right here around our area. So I'm going to throw this out there to you before we start this podcast. If you want to donate an air conditioner here for the podcast or something like that, we'll make sure we get you the pluggy plugs you need. I can promise you that. So,
Are y'all done now?
what do you think, Eddie?
Are y'all done with that
I'm
now?
done, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I think you're going to get some hate mail.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time.
No. Go ahead and start us off this week's fishing report.
Yeah, so, it's been pretty up and down for everybody. You know, we've had hot days, some cooler days, things like that. We got a little bit of rain last night, so I think that's going to help us a little bit here. It's probably going to pick the bite up because we were really hot in the water. For those that have been checking the water, you all know it's been 85 degrees in some places, 87 in some places on the 90-degree days. So, when you see that water temperature like that, I mean, I got to be honest with you. Back off, get away, try to find more productive water. That's been the name of the game here this last couple weeks anyway. You got to remember, too, everywhere now these fish are pairing. They're spawning, they're sitting on a nest, they're guarding fry. So it's a lot of stuff that you got to deal with out right now. So I've said it a million times. It's all about the adjustment right now. Yep. And you can talk, and you know that too. I mean,
I was about to say, I think the main adjustment people need to remember is when the weather was still cool, we told everybody, afternoon bites heavy. You got to wait for that water to warm up. The water's not warm yet. You got to wait in the afternoon. Let the day sun get to it. Now here it is. It's 80 degrees first thing in the morning.
Bite.
You better get out there before the sun's high, or you've got nothing. And that's the adjustment.
And you just hit the nail on the head. Unless you've got a real good falling tide during the day.
First light, last light.
Yep. And Gary, you hit it right there. I mean, everybody I've been talking to the last couple of days, it's been either, like you said, in the morning or the last. They don't bite that last half hour, I think, as good as they do before. You know what I mean? Once the sun starts setting, it's like they seem to lose their sight ability a little bit or something. I don't know what it is, but definitely it's morning and evening right now. And if you've got a midday tide falling, go. You know what I mean? You're gonna get some of that good water that you need. Catfish, a lot of catfish being caught, a ton of carp being caught. I know some people that have really been loading some coolers full of carp here. Bass fishing has been, we're seeing some bass being caught, and they're all very big and they're all very nice and beautiful. So you can find some of them. I know, Gary, you just had another hatching in your pond, didn't you, with your bass? So, it's kind of easy to gauge the spawn, looking at some of the stuff that we have available to us to look at. So those of you out in the Upper Bay and things like that, you guys should be seeing some really good spawning action going on with them bass. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind and target those baits that that they're going to react to and they're going to push away from the bed and things like that. I really don't have too much. I mean, there's some eels being caught. I mean, it's just been hot the last couple of days, so not really too many people been out.
What's wrong with you? We're only 3 minutes into this, and you're already done your fishing report?
Well, no, I'm not. So let's go up the bay. Okay? You're right. I mean, you want to keep it rolling or not? I want to give our guests plenty of time because we got a good one today. So, but you know what? You're right. Let's talk a little bit around the bay. So, Nick Atkins, a friend of mine, he was over in the Patuxent, and he sent me some pictures this week. He's been catching snakeheads over there up the river, up in the faster water, the clearer water, things like that. I've been paying attention to Roy and them guys up there in the Upper Bay. They're catching a lot of snakeheads. The guys in the Susquehanna are pounding snakeheads. Okay, I don't know how to put it other than that. And the grass beds that are coming up along 90, the Cecil County and Harford County side, that's really where we want to start looking at. You want to start getting out there in that shallower water with that grass where they can hide and find a cooler, shaded spot or something like that. We got guys smoking them up in the pools. I mean, I got guys in Deer Creek smoking them. I got guys over in the Octorara smoking them. I got guys above the dam that are telling me they're pulling into some coves up there. I'm not going to blast the coves, but they're pulling into the coves up there in the morning, and literally, they thought they were carp that were just laying on the surface. It's not. It's literally hundreds of snakeheads in some of these coves up there right now. It's freaking unreal, man. And I know for a fact, like one of the coves that I really like to fish, I had a friend that's been fishing this cove all winter and stuff like that. He said, he noticed a little bit of change in some of the panfish through the winter this year that he was catching. And the first thing that he's noticed this year is that the bass are not spawning where this particular creek comes in the back of this cove on this flat where they always do. But the snakeheads are there. They're up that creek, this little thin creek. I mean, it's not very big.
Up that creek without a paddle?
Yeah, anything up there ain't going to have a paddle when they're done. I can tell you
Without
that.
a bass.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good one. But really, so, I mean, the fish are really everywhere. You know, I'm talking to guys over in the Northeast that are catching plenty. I'm talking to guys over in the Furnace Bay that are catching them. I'm talking to guys in the Sassafras. That place is really unfolding. The Bohemia is really unfolding. You know, there's a lot of places up and down the 301 corridor from, say, 213 to the south, and there's some stuff above that too. But if you run down 301 and you take your phone and you open up your any creek that you're crossing there and look, there's snakeheads in all of these fingers that are running under 301. Okay, and I found some stuff this weekend that, you know, some people believe me, some people didn't. I don't care if they believe me or not. But I found some stuff over in Ingleside this weekend that kind of blew me away, and a creek that was only this wide but had a couple big wide openings in it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm talking to guys up in Hartford County that are on the Bush River that have farms, that have irrigation ditches coming on their property. There's snakeheads all over them. You know, and when the tide comes in and floods it out, there's snakeheads in the field. It's the same thing that they're seeing there that we began to see in the beginning. You know, so the harbor, I've heard that they're catching some rockfish there, trolling bucktails at the Key Bridge. I know that they're catching some good perch, you know, around the Bay Bridge. I know that a lot of people are live lining spotting doing good right now. Chum, here's something that I want you to think about. Okay, a lot of people don't think about this. I personally think that crab chum is like the best chum in the world to use out here.
I think you're a little biased.
Well, I am. I mean, LY and all that's good too. I mean, you can even mix them together. But here's the thing. If you're crabbing and you're catching crabs and you get home and you got a bunch that you can't eat, put them in a 5-gallon bucket and start stomping them and crushing them up. And just build that bucket through the next month or two that you're eating crabs. Add anything else you want to it and freeze it. And then when you get out there, just wrap it on a rope, hang it over the side, put some holes in it.
I'm glad you put the freezing part in.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, this is a way to utilize your I don't want to call it loss, but what you're not eating, you know what I mean? So it's not going to waste. You know, that's the thing. I think today the biggest thing, and everybody's trying to do, is trying to maximize everything that they have at their hand, you know, just because everything's just so crazy in the market with everything. You know, I can't believe where crabs are. We got just crazy. But anyway, we'll get into that later in the show. But I mean, you know, over in the Potomac, I'm talking to some guys over there. I mean, these guys over in the Potomac that said that there were no fish. I don't know what you're not seeing that the guys that I know are seeing, but everybody that I'm talking to that's over there fishing is seeing more snakeheads this year than they've seen in the last 5. So I don't know what that's all about. So I know they're catching a lot over there. Smallwood, you know, you go right out of there in that big cove right there. You got them right there. Run straight across the river to the Virginia side, and rock piles over there, you got them there. They're up in every little cut that you can find, you know, north of Smallwood anyway. I hear they're all around the power plant. Some of the power plants are shooting them up there at night like you wouldn't believe. So I don't know, man. You know, I mean, I think you really have to stay in touch with the people that are really putting time out there to get an honest evaluation of what's going on, you know. I look at who tells me they are and who tells me they aren't. And you can tell just by post that, okay, bro, I hear you, man. No problem. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know, you want to protect it. That's cool. I don't know. I mean, there's just a lot of good opportunities right now because we're in that transition from the spring into the heat, you know?
Yep.
So this is the time to really maximize on quantity, let's say. You know, you're going to have quality everywhere with what you're doing, but quantity, you know, if you're looking to fill your cooler with some meat, do it now, man, before it gets too hot and you start seeing more nematodes. And what was the other one called, Eddie? Trematodes. So we're all learning a lot of stuff as we're going here from some of the biologists. Thanks, Mr. Jim. You know, I mean, Conowingo Dam, you know, I'm just going to touch on it. It's not gotten any better. The amount of fish that they're processing is gotten more. And I have to just do this real quick. My hat goes off to JJ McDonald. Okay, you know, I mean, them folks are up there. They're taking these fish. They're processing them for free of charge. You know, maybe they get a tax credit for it. I don't know. I'm sure that they get some kind of something for it. But the bottom line is this. They're going out of their way to get these fish. They're processing them. They're taking them to the homeless shelters, the food banks, things like that. So the fish are being utilized. You know what I mean? They're not just wasting them away and throwing them away, you know? So that's what I really respect about what Conowingo Dam's doing up there in Exelon and all them guys. Talking to some of the biologists that are up there, you know, and staying in contact with them. I mean, they're seeing lots of fish, man, like 30 inches plus. I mean, they've had some fish up there.
Big fish there. Big
Over
fish.
15. I'm not going to get into that, but now of course these fish are at the fish lift. They're not all over the place like in mass numbers, but they're as far as they can go. So this is another thing that I want people to remember. This time of the year, the snakeheads want to run as far to the head of everything as they can. They want to get that cool water right now before it gets hot, get their babies in there, get a reproductive spawn right off the bat and go, So as we go on, you'll see these fish spread out a little bit more. But no matter where you're fishing, go as far as you can. You can't go no more, and you're going to find fish. Y Mill Spillways. Why do you think they're at Y Mill Spillway like that? They can't go any further. You know what I mean? Why do you think they're at Peach Blossom under 50 in that little pocket just above it? They can't go any further. Look over to the Eastern Parkway in the back. They can't go what?
Can't go any further.
What? Go ahead. Gotta give you a prize, Gary. What is it?
They can't go any further.
Oh, I'm gonna give you this Rockstar juice because you seem a little sleepy
empty.
today. And
It's empty.
No, this is the empty one. I already drank this one, the Bang. And for those of you, Eddie was asking me, that Bang sweet iced tea is good. Bang, give us a call. We want you on the show. Anyway, so I don't know, man. I mean, all right, now I'm at 11 minutes. Was that good?
That's better.
You want another 20? I don't think our guest does.
No, I think we're good there.
All right, let's talk to our guest. You do that. You do your thing, Eddie. Let's go.
So this week we've got Mike. Let me make sure I say it. Mike Ebersberger. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you got $1. You got $1.
That's right. So how you doing, man?
Good. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you being on. So for those who don't know you, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Mike Ebersberger. I am partial owner, manager at Angler Sports Center up by Route 50, and I'm obviously here today to just have a great time with you guys.
That's not going to be hard
I've
to do.
been on here for like 45 minutes, so I already feel like I've had a full show.
We like to bait you in real slow. That's all.
Everything we've already said, you're just going to say again.
Already. Like I already feel like I'm at the dessert time.
All right, let me just
we're going to be able to climb right in.
Well, Eddie just wants to make sure, we try to talk to our guests, a little bit before the show just to make sure that we want to still do the show. So we still wanted to do the show after we talked to you, so that's a good thing.
That's right. So how did you get started in anglers?
Oh, shoot. Well, let's see. I feel like I'm probably like my actual start at Anglers. I'm probably like any other kid because my dad worked at the store. So, of course, my goal in life was to never work at Anglers, right? And to do something completely different. So, of course, a year or two after high school, I was like, going to college, and I'm like started working there part time, and before you know it, there you are. But so that's part of the story right there. So I started probably a year or two after I got out of school. I was going to college. I started working there part time, and of course, just like you guys or anybody else, like of course, I love hunting, I love fishing, so it's like it's just a beautiful thing to be able to work in the industry that we all within the sport we all really love.
For sure, that sounds a lot like my track on the on how we got started here at the store.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Eddie wanted to just stay in college, hang out and party, but he had to grow up, unfortunately, like the rest of us.
Fishing and eating.
That's right.
Mike, let me ask you this. So let's go back to the early days, and let's go back to the childhood days, the teen days. What bit you as far as fishing and hunting goes? I mean, let's talk a little bit about that. How did you evolve? As a kid into all this stuff? I know you didn't want to be part of Anglers, and that wasn't much money, but you can't tell me you didn't go to the tackle shop and feel like a kid in the candy shop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, my family just like a lot, generationally fished, hunted, that's what they loved. Like literally, this is actually a pretty funny story. So my dad, like when I grew up, he literally could not tell you a national football team. He didn't know how the plays worked, anything. Like my family lived, everything outdoor sports. So it was all hunting, fishing, this and that. But I think more so like that kind of took the place of sports. So like my grandfather, my dad, extremely competitive, but in that fun way we all are. Like you go out on the boat with your dad, your friends, you're all killing each other. It's like that's the fun of the sport kind of thing. That's like the whole shebang. So I feel like that's one of the big things to me is just it's obviously the camaraderie and that sort of thing. But we're also huge on eating. Like I love eating more than anything in the world. So so literally I was thinking about it and like my memories and this and that. And I'm like, man, we caught a lot of white perch, sea bass, and flounder, and like we crabbed all the time. Like every day, all day, like, you know, checking pots off of different people's neighbors' docks, you know, doing this and that. Like it's just like, those are my memories, like, mostly doing stuff
Hey,
like that.
you're keeping it real,
Hey,
man.
man.
I love it. Keep it real.
What good are
But
neighbors
that's
if you
that's what
can't
it was.
use them?
Like, we caught fish, you know, my grandmother filleted them, cooked them, like this and that, you know, it was like, that's like the prize at the end of the tunnel. So, you know, that's like a lot of what I remember, you know, and like, I really think about it, because my grandparents actually lived in Ocean Pines, and we kept our boat at a dock here, so it was kind of like we ran crabs both places. You know, my grandparents would always call it, "Oh, we're going to have a picking competition," and I later learned that a picking competition was their way to labor their children.
That's the best way to do it.
Child labor.
For this sort of thing. But I mean, those are really the fun times. You know, it's the whole family, it's the whole thing. You know, and it's like, it's literally start of the day. You wake up, you go fishing, crabbing, this and that. You screw around with it all day. You clean it. Someone cooks it. That's the end of the day. It's like, you know, that's the whole ball of wax right there. So I think that's why we kind of all do what we do to some extent. You know.
How about fishing, Mike? Your favorite waters to fish on? You know, ocean, rivers, springs, whatever, or and also your favorite fish to catch.
Yeah, so I grew up mostly fishing out of Whitehall Bay, just north of the Severn. So a lot there, and in the Magothy. So which is currently where I generally fish out of. So both of those places, I really love to crab fish. I mean, especially, well, really both of them, just a little bit of everything. As far as my favorite fish, I feel like that's a coming and going type thing. Like, you know, there are certain times I'm just super into striped bass, super into snakehead, you know, super into this and that. So I feel like that's ever changing. I feel like, again, within the food thing, you know, we always put our white perch on a high pedestal and offshore our sea bass on a high pedestal. So
Where
that'd probably be my favorite for the eating stuff.
Where do you rank snakeheads in with all that food?
I mean, snakeheads are actually pretty high on it. I feel like that's one of the reasons I've initially got so interested in snakeheads, and you know, I think why a lot of us are interested in it. I mean, on bait, I mean, it's definitely up there in the top 5 of whitefish, I would say, if that's a category within fish, you know.
Sure it is.
Definitely right there with, like I honestly feel like snakehead and striped bass are kind of like a very like, you know, comparable fish, you know, texture wise, taste wise. I feel like
a lot of people I talk to compare it to
right
flounder. So
I compare it to walleye, more like walleye, because like up north, like I used to go to the Great Lakes a lot in the summertime and go fishing, and they got walleye stands up there like we have pit beef stands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and you know, I love eating walleye and catching them. Susquehanna's got a great population of walleye up there. You know?
They remind me a lot of tautog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Real
feel like
mild,
walleye's
not
actually
real
a
strong.
great
You know,
one.
just tog fishing's a blast. What's your favorite thing to fish for, though?
Probably, I mean, I would probably have to say white perch overall. Like, if I'm fishing for big white perch, you know what I mean? Like, satisfaction off of what I'm going to catch. Like, if I caught a 14-inch white perch, would I be happier than if I caught a 50-inch rockfish? My answer would definitely be yes. So, like, at least locally on the bay.
Ultralight tackle?
Huh?
Ultralight
Within that,
tackle?
yeah.
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 That's good stuff there.
Yeah. I feel like it's got to be.
So when you're out there, I mean, are you like me? Like you wanna fill the freezer up and, you know, get yourself stocked up good so you ain't got to worry about it? Because, you know, we all do have them bad days when we go fishing too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like that's probably one of my number one goals there. Absolutely. Stocking the fridge. I feel like I'm a use everything type person as well. So I think it's like, you know, cheek meat, this, that, whatever, like all down for it.
what about hunting? You do much hunting?
I do. So I feel like I definitely don't hunt as much as I used to. I used to do
Same
a lot
here.
of waterfowl, duck, geese. I some deer and this and that, but I've got a few kids, a wife, this and that, and don't tell me how I have time for one but not the other. But there's just something about it. I think what it is like the whole 2 or 3 a.m. like breaking ice, this and that. I'm like,
Days are longer in the
not
summer.
quite there.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
just not quite there right now.
Kid-
Wait till my
kids-
son gets
kids
a little
definitely
bit
change the
older, and then I'm
equation.
sure I feel like once my son gets older, it'll probably revert back. Like then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and wake up and break this because he needs to do this too. So you know,
Don't worry about it, buddy. I'm taking up your slack.
what about sick deer? Have you done much sick deer
I
hunting?
feel for you.
Have you done
No,
much sitting now?
so I think I talked to Kaz about this the other day at the Combos for Kids event, and he was asking me that, which shockingly, no. I have not killed a sika deer. I have never been sika deer hunting.
We're gonna
I've
have to change
butchered
that.
several of them, eaten lots of them.
That's what I told Mike when I was out there. I said, look, you've never killed a sika deer. I says, we ought to try to get you set up something with Gary for a day or something like that. And we'll
Tell
get
you,
you
man.
one, you know.
Blackwater's got 33,000 acres, I think they have now, and about 26,000 is huntable. So,
and I'm sure you guys talk about it ad nauseum, but like sika deer are literally the best game in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Like they taste like you eat a sika deer, you can truly convince somebody this is out of a grocery store. Like, like they are so good. It's not even funny. I think as far as wild game, like, a red meat, I would take that right behind a wood duck, pretty much on the roast beef scale.
It's definitely right up there. Actually, it's funny. People always get surprised when I say this, but my favorite wild game is caribou. It's like everybody always thinks, oh, your favorite's got to be sika deer, but caribou is the best meat I've ever had, hands down.
Yeah, I like caribou too. I think we were talking about this.
Yeah,
We had a friend that went to Newfoundland, brought some back. Oh my God, man, it was absolutely amazing.
you big game hunt, Mike, or go out of state, or?
No. So I've never been really a huge big game hunter. I've been hog hunting a bunch in Georgia. I say several times in Georgia. Again, same thing. I'm kind of like, well, that's like 600 to 800 pounds of meat. That would be really good. But my interest isn't like, I'm not the guy like with the big deer on the wall type thing. It's just not my deal.
Yeah, I get the big deer in the freezer.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, exactly. Or preferably the small deer in the freezer if it's
Right.
my way. Like,
It's very true. I mean, everybody that goes hunting wants to kill bucks, you know what I mean? But, I think you learn with time is that if you're a hunter and you want to eat, and you want to harvest deer, then, I mean, I'm not against shooting a doe or something like that. And, my uncle told me one day when we were hunting down here, I was like, yeah, I'm waiting on that big buck. He's like, don't do that, dude. He's like, if it's brown, it's down, man. Just get your deer done. Get your deer. You can't eat them frickin' horns. When will you get that through your head? That's
Skull on the wall, buddy.
that's what he
Meat in
told
the
me,
freezer.
so,
And when I grew up was like, my dad only hunted places that were basically like, managed deer, right? So kill the does, keep the bucks alive, this and that.
Right.
And so that's what we did. You go out there and kill 4, 5, 6 deer, like, at a time. And so it was just a butcher fest. Like that's just what we're gonna do.
my cousin Ricky, you just sound a lot like him. Like I think last year he killed like 14 deer or something like that. I can't remember. It might have been more than that.
It's honestly staggering how many deer you're allowed to kill. If you hunt all your seasons on you've got your federal land, your state land, the whole works. I mean,
Well, like whitetails, there's no limit with a bow.
Yeah.
No.
And then you can turn around and go on Blackwater and whatever you can get in Maryland, you can double it there because that's federal land.
Exactly.
It's not on your bag for Maryland.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You've got separate bags.
I think a lot of people don't realize that about Blackwater. Maybe we shouldn't discuss it too much, but I mean, when you hunt out here, you were under the Maryland law, but when you're in there, you're under a different set of guidelines.
Yep.
So you can harvest the same amount of deer during their season that we can out here. So like realistically, if you were bow hunting, like you said, you could get your $6 between both places, and or $2 between both, and then you can get your unlimited does, and then even with like your gun stuff, I mean, I think you 10
You got
does
muzzle
or
loader,
something.
you got shotgun, you
Yeah.
got bow.
Yep.
I mean, you could
Yeah,
realistically
everybody-
have 100 deer in the freezer. That's what I'm.
Near about. Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah,
myself, I
probably
don't know
nearly
if anybody's
100
ever
deer on
tagged
the way to
out.
work.
No.
Yeah, I don't know anybody's ever tagged out either.
You run out of freezer space before you tag out.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. So fishing wise, Mike, I mean, have you traveled anywhere outside of Maryland to test the waters anywhere? And if you have, let's talk about a few of them places that you've been.
Yeah, so I grew up. We used to vacation every summer to one place. My mom is from Upper Michigan, and so our family had a old log cabin on an island up there, and this island is not like, there's just dirt roads and this and that. So there used to be a couple interlakes there. We used to smallmouth bass fish, and that was a blast.
Yeah.
Like I love that fishing so much. That was awesome.
That's a lot of clear water fishing. So I'm with you. I've been up there and I fished them Great Lakes, and you can see them fish coming up out of 30 feet of water to chase a bait. It's pretty crazy. You can see the whole school down there on some days.
I feel like when you're up there too, because we all grow up around here in these areas, and even where you guys are, it's like you go up there and you can see like hundreds of miles of no boats. no people. It's crazy. Where here it's, of course, there's even in the remote areas, there's people everywhere. So very, very cool places to fish. Definitely fished a few of the tropical places around, but for stuff like striped marlin and a lot of different bottom fish.
Where did you catch a striped marlin at?
Where was that? Cabo. So Cabo, Mexico. I think south of California. So I went there during the I guess what's their migration season, which is actually really cool. So I went out with a guy in a 20-foot panga boat, which is just a little center console John boat looking thing. So this guy, literally, we start going out and he's like, okay, we're going to stop here. You're going to pay this guy $25 for a dozen, 14 to 18 inch live mackerel. We go out and I realize, so we're floating around there and this guy's driving to a spot and I realize he has no depth finder, no GPS, nothing. And I'm like, where are we going? And he's like, oh no, it's fine. And eventually he says, okay, we're going to drop here. Fish are going to start biting, in 5 or 10 minutes or something. And I'm thinking like, this guy is insane. Like we haven't seen anything. We haven't heard anything. There's no equipment.
And you ain't got a fish finder.
This sounds really, really good. So then, of course, as he says, like within a half hour, we're literally seeing groups of 2 to 6 striped marlin jumping out of the water everywhere. Wow. And so we hooked up with a few right away, which was really cool. We caught them on light tackle, spinning gear. So that was really cool. They're a really neat fish to fish and a really cool area there. Just because they come so far inland. I think we were probably a half mile off the beach and 130-pound marlin, which is pretty crazy too. So that was definitely a cool one.
What is the biggest fish you've ever caught?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sure a shark of some sort, maybe a mako.
Oh, let's talk about shark fishing. What kind of sharks have you caught and where'd you catch them?
So I've done tons and tons of bottom fishing offshore. Like my grandfather was an offshore bottom fishing nut. So I've caught tons and tons of whatever sharks are all around the bottom and come up when you bait fish in one area, but rarely ever purposely gone out shark fishing. I'm not a big tournament angler. I don't necessarily go out for mako or anything, but I love mako. I think they're definitely a top eating fish for me too.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely on that.
Yeah,
as far as the sharks go, I mean, when you say you've caught a big shark, what do you think? A couple 100 pounds?
Yeah, probably something like that. Nothing crazy.
How about you say you keep talking about the ocean? How about flounder fishing and stuff down there in inland? Did you get much of that done growing up?
Yeah. I mean, we used to fish flounder all the time, especially in the back bays around Ocean City. I mean, back then, obviously, the flounder limits were way smaller. I think, well, not the picture I sent you guys, but I have tons of pictures with my grandfather and grandmother. These tiny little flounder, and I'm just like, oh, man. But we actually used to catch tons of doormats at that time, too. So it was a different time.
Mike, let me tell you what. Things are going so good here on the podcast. I think we're going to pause for just a second, and we're going to give away some stuff to the good people out there. What you guys think about that? You want to give away some stuff?
Yeah.
All right, let's get some stuff away. Gary, reach in the magic box and see what we got in the magic box over there.
The magic box.
Oh, back scratcher. Oh, no, it isn't.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a fish scaler. What's a back scratcher until you use it for fish?
So this is, that came from Tim from down Fish and Bait Oyster Company. Yep. We did give it away, but they never showed up to pick it up. So that's such a nice fish scaler that we wanted to go ahead and give that away. And
the teeth on that, baby.
While we're talking about that real quick, I've been talking to somebody about mats for cleaning snakeheads.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be talking about that a little bit here real soon. I don't want to open the bag too much, but I do want to just throw the teaser there. You know what I'm saying? We got a guy who's making some mats. He wants to talk about how good they are working on snakeheads. I said, let's get us a couple, and I'll let you know. So what do you want him to say on that, Gary?
Scratch my back.
Scratch my back. I love it, dude. Scratch my back in the comments, and you get that fish scaler, folks. Gary, look, I'm feeling it's a holiday. You know, I love our veterans out there. If there's any veterans out there, this next prize, I'll tell you what to post as soon as Gary puts it up.
Look.
Holy moly!
Oh, that's good for veteran.
What's that, fingernail clipper?
No, it's a LED light. And it's got a clip on it for your belt. Pull me, it says.
Who gave us that?
CCA.
Oh, I like that. So how about, let's see, what do you want him to say, Eddie? You pick it.
Oh, it's got a pair of scissors on the end. I couldn't see what it was.
Nippers for your line.
Nippers for your line. I love CCA.
I love
Easy
it.
enough.
Yep.
Good guys, man.
Dave's, of course, is doing a lot out here, and we got some stuff we're going to be talking about real next week on the podcast. It's going to blow you away of what we got coming up. So, you know what? Let's give away another prize, Gary, to a veteran.
All
Let's
right.
do that. Hopefully, a veteran wins it.
There we go. Whoop, it's empty.
Oh, don't give him that one. I think somebody might have taken that one.
Yeah, it's a mess with me. There we go. I'm looking at the color. They are.
Looks like June bug.
One runs, maybe. Look at June bug.
I don't see the color on it.
Okay, so
Old
those
School?
are from Brian Dolph down there at Old School
School
Tackle.
Yep.
You know, he's donating stuff every weekend for us to give away. So if you have not liked Old School Tackle, please go check out Brian
I
Dolph's
don't know if you can
page.
see that in the light, but it's like gray and a metallic blue. If the light hits it right.
This is what I want somebody to say, okay? If you served in the military, I want you to write in the comment, I am a veteran. The first veteran to write in there, I am a veteran, you will get that, okay? Gary, let's do one more. How about that?
He's going crazy, folks.
He's going crazy.
Oh, I'm not even done yet. I'm just getting started, brother.
Oh, what we got? Oh,
Oh, that's a new hot bait that's on the
Hot
market
thing.
right now that Gary has been using and been catching plenty of fish on.
Yep.
And,
good quality,
you know,
heavy duty stuff.
yep,
there.
Mr. Khan, them guys
Yep,
over there, I
Steve
mean,
Khan.
they're making some beautiful products. So,
Yes.
you know, check that out. And what do you want them to say, Eddie? You pick.
Go high octane.
Okay, so this is what I want. I want high octane. I'm a veteran. If you are a veteran, okay. So
Say it again.
high octane. I am a veteran. If you are a veteran, okay. If you're not, just put high octane. How's that? Whoever first one to go in there, you get it. I'll tell you what, dude. Let's give away some more.
Wow, you have gone nuts. My
Oh,
goodness.
man, look, we got a good guest today who's helping us get the word out about things, and let's help him out. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Old School Tackle.
Old School Tackle, special reserve, right here in your hand. You only run one time, so you'll never see this color again. I love Anglers Sports Center. That's what you got to put. I love Anglers Sports Center, and you can have that. All right, let's do another one. I ain't done. Just when you think I'm down, look up because I'm on top.
Got something in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's from our good friend Brady Feltz out there at Nonthaburi. So, what do you want, Gary? Make him talk.
I love frogs.
I love frogs.
I
Put
love
that out
frogs.
there. I love frogs. Let's see what else. I think we're not going to give away anything. I think that's else. Mike, tell us a little about what's been going on at Anglers. What you guys up there got going on in the special you want the people to know?
So I want to talk a little bit about back to the fishing report kind of stuff, because I feel like you were kind of picking on it. It's just a weird time of the year right now. So we have live spot now at the store that we're selling. This is, I think, the earliest we have ever had live spot at our store. So like we got a report, I think, 2 weeks ago of people over at Chesapeake catching spot, which is roughly the earliest I've heard of it. You guys were touching on like some of the different catfish things and this and that, and kind of how the rockfish are just biting really weird right now. So we've been hearing reports of people doing well, trolling, doing well live lining, but really with zero consistency. And I feel like this has been a real weird year with all the rain, the wind we've been getting. You haven't really been able to put your finger on where are these fish, what are they biting on right now. So I do feel like this is like every year this seems to happen. We get these big fish, they head out of the river, and it seems like it's almost before the local fish have really spooled up. Like you were saying, they're catching tons of catfish chumming, but they're not catching any rockfish chumming right now. So I feel like we are in this weird little limbo time right now where for the next 2 to 4 weeks, we're really not sure what these fish are doing, how they're feeding. And I'm, I think every year it's kind of evolving as the weather's changing and the fishery's changing.
So, why don't you go ahead while we're talking? Let's give a fishing report, man, from Angler Sports Center. What's going on up? What's going on up there?
I love my fishing report, in a little bit. So I feel like people have been doing well. Like, that there are big fish kind of everywhere. Like, there's a lot of rockfish out there. I've been reading on my meter. People have been catching them. Again, like, I can't put my finger on, like, how it is in the middle of summer. You can say, boom, all the fish are here. Every headboat's there. Every guy chumming's there. It's really hard to put your finger on. I feel like the best stuff I've been hearing has generally been out of Bloody Point. I've heard a lot of good stuff out of Love Point, but I know they're also doing really, really well just south of Hackett's too. So that's kind of my rockfish side of it. like I was touching on with the spot, like a lot of people love spot fishing up by us. So they're actually really excited that the spot are up here. But at the same time, which you can imagine, they're both happening at the same time. We're getting white perch entering the creek early and hitting, our spinner baits, all that kind of stuff real early right now in the shallows and a lot of the creeks like around the Magothy, Severn River.
Now, Mike, let me interrupt you for a minute. You got a really hot perch bait that you sell. You want to talk a little bit about that? I think it's called a Perch Pounder.
The Perch Hounders. Yeah, so we have a spinner bait called the Perch Hounder. It's a great little bait. It really gets deep quick. Perch, honestly, they just love it. Like, it's one of those baits you just fish and you're like, oh man, doesn't look like anything special. It just catches fish. So, we have that. We've got a bunch of new colors this year that I'm really excited about. I know most people are like me. You like to fish something new just for the hell of it. So even if you fished them, definitely come check out some of the new colors there. And actually, while we're touching on that too, we just put an announcement out, I think yesterday. We finally have a save the date. Our annual White Perch Open tournament is back on. So we had to cancel it last year with COVID, but I believe the date is August 15th. So we will also be having our third annual White Perch Open tournament on that date.
Cool.
What as far as trout goes? I mean, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions. If you had to tell somebody where to go catch some speckled trout, give me a spot.
I couldn't tell you a spot right now. I feel like even the people I know who catch speckled trout aren't catching speckled trout. Maybe I'm just, I haven't talked to too many people this past week and they fish that area, but yeah.
Well, let me touch a little bit about what's going on here. Yeah. The trout are everywhere, like we've never seen them. We have black drum here right now. I had a friend that caught 3 last week, over 50 pounds. So,
wow.
If you're familiar with the Little Chop Tank River, and you're familiar with the Hunger River, and you're familiar with the Hooper Straits, and you're familiar with the deep edges around Fishing Bay, the shallows in the evening, they've been catching plenty of trout. Yeah. So I'll throw that in there for that.
It's crazy how early everything keeps happening. It feels like every year we hit a new landmark.
We've already seen a red drum.
I'm like, where were you going to get this year? Like, what's going to come up at the end of this year? Because what we were getting at the end of last season. We're seeing Maryland state records, spadefish, this, that, like all these crazy fish. I feel like it's kind of awesome. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen this year.
I blame the snakeheads for down the ocean. No, I'm just kidding.
It's always the snakeheads' fault. Always, everything's the snakeheads' fault.
With me anyway. So.
We did get our first Bay Bridge snakehead last week, so I do feel like that's the first snakehead at the Bay Bridge of the year is always
I'm glad you said that because we've been talking a lot about adjusting and how these fish are relating to the changes, and adapting to the changes. Folks, you just heard Mike say that they caught a snakehead at the Bay Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a lot saltier than anywhere up the Magothy or anywhere up the Severn or any of them places. So I'm curious to see really what happens this year. I know you are too, Eddie and Gary. Last year we had guys that were shooting snakeheads under the rays here out in the Chop Tank River.
Mm-hmm.
So we're wondering if we're going to see that again because we're already seeing snakeheads in salty places that we're not used to seeing these things. I mean, some of them, Gary.
I'm just wondering if it's thrive or survive. If it can survive in the salt
that's the question.
And then travel, or they can actually thrive there. If they can thrive there, we're in big trouble.
Well, here's the thing. I talked to you guys a little bit before the show about what I've been talking to Joe Love and some other people about. I'm going to probably have you two get involved with me on that. So we're going to get a permit to hold some snakeheads and do some data collection on. Okay, and what we're going to do there is we're going to do salt test. We're going to do that with bigger fish, and then with fry, we're going to do a 30-day growth rate. So we're going to see what we're seeing in a 30-day period of fry. And what we're going to do is we're going to wait for a bed to hatch down on our place and pull them off that same day. So we're getting a true collection of data of what we're doing. And I know that it's very exciting that we've been given the opportunity to do this, So there's not a lot of people out there that can keep a snakehead in a tank, you know what I'm saying? We're at their house. So that's kind of, I think DNR knows that we're not moving fish. We're not doing anything stupid like that. And we've been very, very helpful to them and very grateful to be of service to them. So, I just want to say thanks, Joe, and thanks, Josh, for working on that for us. Mike, if I had to ask you for, I guess you probably haven't heard any flounder. We've already seen the first flounder here in the Hunger River. So we got some flounder down here floating around too. And I've actually caught some up in the ditches on the side of the road because a lot of people don't know flounders will run up these ditches just like snakeheads in the salty areas. You know what I mean? White perch we're seeing. Let me ask you this. If somebody was looking for a yellow perch bite, where would you send them?
I don't know. I feel like, we get them in the magazine, and I feel like they're those, this is that time of the year where you're going to catch them in those little bit deeper spots. Like, you're still kind of in the creeks and the river, but 8, 10, 12 feet of water. So, I mean, I like a couple places back in the magazine. That's probably where I would go. But yeah, that's probably where I'd be going right now.
So for the holiday, do you guys have any sales up there for the weekend going on? I mean, what do you got going on up there that people will want to raise their eyebrows about? And be like, oh, I'm going to Anglers to get me some stuff because it's on sale, man.
Well, we got all the Bait Boyz bait in stock, of course, this weekend. Damie's got it all hooked up. But we've got 20% off for all veterans, military members on Memorial Day, so we're definitely really excited about that.
Amen to that, man. That's just stand-up stuff right there, You don't see a lot of people on a holiday, giving sales or you will see them giving sales, but they're jacking the price up, The good thing is people like me and you, we've got price tags on our stuff that we can't change. So, the good thing is people got stuff to look forward to come down there. How are you doing with the Snakehead swim baits down there? The Snakehead Destroyer swim baits?
Oh, they've been doing awesome. I mean, people have been all over those things.
I tell you what,
thank you guys too for those. And actually, I ended up placing a whole order with Brian Dolph at Old School Tackle because they're really nice baits. So he has a ton of other great baits and colors and stuff. Obviously, that one is cinched up for the Snakehead, but definitely excited about those. They're awesome.
Yeah, very good. Glad to hear Brian's working with
product,
you.
Man.
Yeah,
he does a good job.
I mean, he even came here the morning of our tournament, and sat in here at 5:30 in the morning for the meeting and gave away bags of plastic, stickers, magnets, all kinds of stuff. He gave every angler here a package to take with them, and that was just, we weren't expecting that, you know what I mean? And that was, here's the thing, we asked people to sponsor the tournament, and, I look at the folks that we've helped in the past get where they are, and when we start asking for help back out there, we would like to see some reciprocation for sure. So,
on that note, that very thing, Mike, since you're not eligible for any of these drawings today, we've got something for you, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Shame you're not here to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, this thing's beautiful. I'll try to bring it up with me.
Sorry, but if you'd been here today, you could have won this. Mike,
hold on, let me help you. It's kind of heavy.
For anglers, it's your own bump board.
Brand new bump board for your tournaments.
Ooh, well, thank you guys.
Yeah, man.
You see that?
Absolutely.
I didn't know this was a prize.
I hear we got a guy comes up your way.
Yeah, we hear a guy comes up your way almost every day. So
they smell like minnows when you get it.
Hey, you know what? I'm just thinking, being that we just gave away something to anglers, let's give away some more stuff. What do you guys think?
Give away a few more things, then we got to talk about tournaments.
Okay.
What we got? Hey, cute little thing.
Ah, that's the one that I like.
Little froggy.
So that's another of the.
I can't see who it is.
This is from High Octane.
You guys got to put bigger print on there. I'm an old man.
Yeah, those are from High Octane again. So I can tell you those things have got some really, really strong hooks on them, and the way that they're set up, you can get quite a few fish out of this bait. The way that it's just hooked, you know what I mean? You're not going to rip them apart, real fast. And if you do, like I've said before, take a thing of super glue with you. What do you want to say, Gary?
Remember Sunoco? You guys that probably don't remember.
I remember Sunoco.
Yeah, I do too.
They made what was their high octane, their highest one? 201.
94.
260.
260. Yeah.
260. 260 in the comments.
That's like jet fuel, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's a lot of performance cars back in the 70s.
It's funny. I still got a couple Sunoco footballs from when we had Corner Market. We had Sunoco gas there.
I had a friend, and he always said all the time, he said, how you doing? Regular, about 260.
And, being that it's the holiday, let's give away one of those spec rigs. Scout Trout. And, being Memorial Day, I love my country. I love my country. Put that in your comment. I love my country. And that's going to be it for the giveaways today. But I'll tell you what. Let's give away a dozen crabs for somebody. They can pick up at either Abingdon or they can pick them up at the Maryland Line location. And not to talk too much, but we're talking to Mike about getting some stuff going on with him down there with maybe some crabs. So stay tuned for that. But I can't. It would be great, man. You know what I mean? And just if you can pick him up either location, Maryland line or Abingdon. I only want Maryland crabs. That's what you got to put in the comment. I only want Maryland crabs. I'm gonna give you a dozen nice crabs this weekend. So put that in there. Mike, I want to come back to you before we get off here with you, and let's just do the one mores. Is there anything else that we missed that you might want to talk about?
Yeah, you know what? Just before I head out of here, I want to thank all of you, Kaz, Eddie, Gary. You guys were all down there this past weekend for having us down in Blackwater. We were down at Blackwater Adventures this past week doing our combos for kids.
Matt Meredith's a great guy,
Oh man, that place was amazing.
He's set up. That was a good spot.
So I know you guys helped put that together. You guys reached out, set all this up, and came and helped us out, get some fish on the line. Those kids had a great time. I felt like we all had a great time. So thank you guys so much for that. That was awesome. And obviously, we have more combos for kids events coming up, which you guys can check out at anglersannapolis.com/community page there.
And that's a lot going on, and might as well drop the name Mr. Torrey Smith. He's promoting a lot of this and helping out.
Yeah, absolutely. So Torrey Smith, Level 82, they've teamed up with us, because this is all about community. This is all about family, people. So they've been a big help to us just getting all this stuff set up. And Torrey's honestly a big fisherman, as we talked about a perch. He's like the perch king. So
do you hear that, Torrey? You're the perch king, Mr. Torrey Smith.
I feel like that's how Torrey and I hooked up was through perch. But anyway, so
that's awesome.
That's another story for another time. But anyway, yeah. Well, anyway, thank you guys for having me on.
Now, before we go, I do want to say this. Anglers has bought the headline sponsor for our tournaments. So we want to thank you for that. That's where I was going with my comment earlier. We're all helping one another. Everybody has some value. Let folks know that they have value. Let them know that they're important to you. Let them know that they're helping you. Let them know that you're doing what you can to help them. You say thank you to us, but it's really thank you to everybody because we can't do this alone. We've been able to do everything that we've done through teamwork, really. That's what it's been in all levels, federal, state, local, everything,
Thanks is only one syllable.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So yeah, Mike, hats off to you. Yeah, brother. We appreciate you very much. And if there's anything, like I told Lindsay, you guys got some content you want us to put out there, just send it to me and we'll get it out there for you. You know what I mean?
We'll get this bump board up to you this week too, man.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I'll be back on the show again at some point, too.
Oh, you absolutely will.
You're welcome anytime, man.
It won't be goodbye forever.
No, definitely not that. So before we go, Mike, thank you very much. I want to talk about a couple hot baits here this week on Snakeheads, and then we'll get into the tournaments, and then we're out of here. It's hot as up here.
I'm proud of you.
I know, I did. I'm trying to think more as we go on, So anyway, Mike, we love you, love your hair. Thank you for coming, bro.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks.
Have a good day.
All right, so look, before we get into tournaments, clubs, and all that, that is the hook that you want for Snakeheads, okay? 1/0 Eagle Claw bait holder hook. That's great for Snakehead Destroyer minnows from the Bait Boyz. This week, these have been the hot baits. The Western Frog. This thing has been amazing. If you haven't got this thing, the legs kick like a real frog. It is absolutely beautiful. The mice have been off the hook,
Everybody I talked to, the mice.
Mice, yes. So the live target mouse has been amazing. The Savage Gear little tiny mini wake mouse has been amazing.
Go to live target. They're better. I like them
better.
I
agree.
That's just me.
Let's see what else we got. The Booyah stuff has been really doing good. The Booyah Pad Crusher has been amazing. We got them in stock here. The Buzz Toad has been amazing. We've got them in stock here. Let me see. Mepps. We got more Mepps than you can shake a Mepps at. I can tell you that. And I have to just end on this one because it's everybody's smoking bait here the last 2 weeks.
Always, man.
Everybody has been.
That's the most consistent bait I've seen for snakeheads yet.
Anybody that's been out there for a couple hours throwing this bait, everybody we've talked to has caught fish.
If you don't have a minute, that's the next best thing.
Yes, and James Kyle Boyle, he can tell you. Richard Seagard, he can tell you. But the biggest person that makes anything to me is Eddie Bramble. Mm-hmm. He can tell you. Eddie, where's your pocket toy at?
It's right here.
Why don't you let him see it? See,
look,
it's
the same one you got in the pack.
He has been carrying that thing around like a blanket.
It's like
we've
talked about it before. I've been fiddling with this bait for 61 episodes. I mean, literally every episode, and I mean, look at it; it's still holding strong.
It's still the same
I've
color.
got-
You
there's
didn't even
one-
get dirt and grease
There's
on it.
one little chip in the paint on the blade. Other than that, it is like brand new.
Because you chew on the blade, that's all.
It's like a worry minute.
Yeah,
you
that's
just-
right.
One more bait I want to mention, and we have a lot of these in
Oh,
stock, and they are going as fast as we can get them in here, is the Nonthaburi Channidae, Brady Felts. We just got to order these in, and we got some absolutely beautiful colors down there, so get them before the hot colors are out of here.
That's it.
That's all for me, Ed. Talk them.
All right. For those who don't remember and who are not signed up yet, June 19th, Snakehead Mayhem Tournament. It's coming. It's only 3 weeks away.
I know.
It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy how fast time flies, man. We're-
And it's anybody's game.
oh my goodness. yeah.
There is nobody that has this thing set. So you got 3 more tournaments to go. It's all points. So this thing can change.
That's just for Angler of the Year. I mean, you can
Right.
win the tournament and,
Yeah.
and still have. I mean, look
Yes.
at Tom. Tom won
Yes.
the tournament. He's good for a little while anyway. With,
I mean,
with his first tournament win.
He
But
didn't
I'm
know
saying-
he's going to get any money.
Here's the thing, though. This next tournament, we're going to see them bigger fish.
Yep.
You know, we did not see those giant 15-pounders at
No.
the last weigh-in.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people got to remember. In 2019, when we did this tournament series, it took about 50-pound bag to get on the leaderboard. 50 pounds. I mean, you had to average 5 pounds of fish to really get on the leaderboard. Tom won the first tournament with 16-pound bag.
Right.
Because of how crazy. I mean, that was probably one of the
Well,
worst
5
fishing.
fish, he had the most fish.
And because he was
Biggest
willing to
fish.
take what he was catching. You know,
Right,
he
that's what
wasn't
I mean.
putting anything back. You know,
That-
he was
that
making
was-
sure he had fish.
That was the worst day of fishing in the Blackwater system in probably the last 20 years. And that's, I mean, Tom still got 16 pounds out of it. But I expect to see another 40, 50, 60-pound bags for winning the tournaments in this next one.
I don't know where Rainwaters is and all them big guys, but you better get your back in here.
So, yeah, June 19th, Snakehead Mayhem Tournament, $50 to enter. Sponsored, of course, by Angler Sports Center. Thank you, Mike.
Mr. Mike!
And like Kaz was saying, everybody's competing for the Snakehead Angler of the Year, sponsored by CCA, Maryland's great Chesapeake Invasive Count.
Dave Sikorsky!
And, of course, we have the Calcuttas, which are $10 each. The heaviest fish of the tournament, sponsored by Bassrack Outdoors.
Kevin Hogan, thank you.
The longest snakehead of the tournament, sponsored by Horseman Enterprises.
Thank you, Benny.
The most snakeheads caught, sponsored by the Land Group.
Thank you, Rob Farr. That was a beautiful property you had today. If you didn't see that thing with the elk on it, you better go check out his stuff.
And, of course, we have the heaviest snakehead of the year, which we will be awarding that prize after the last tournament, sponsored by the Bait Boyz.
Who's that? Damien Toll!
And, of course, Kids Always Fish Free, and they have their own division, sponsored by Roy Bradshaw's Body Shop.
Thank you, Mr. Roy, and thank you, Mr. Andrew. We appreciate you very, very much.
Absolutely. So, and then we've also got the Snakehead Life Fishing Club. Man, that was a good first
It
meeting.
was.
A
We
lot
had a lot of fun.
Yep, a lot of fun.
It's not so much about being perfect. It's just about having fun for us. You know what I mean? So, you know that we have still open membership. You know, it's
Oh yeah, you can sign up anytime. There's no end to the enrollment. I mean, you can doesn't matter if it's February or November or July. It doesn't matter. You can sign up and get joined in.
now you have a thing for kids that you've offered if they are from.
If the kids are fishing in Leroy's family fun fishing. I can't remember it's the 3 F's. Family fun fishing snakehead group. If the kids are fishing there, if the parents sign up for our group, the kids are in for free. So that's always cool.
Yeah, so if you're a parent and you've got kids and you want to get them involved so that you can stream the meeting to your children and let them watch it,
Or just come.
you know, just come down, whatever. Bring the kids. We'll give away some free stuff for the kids. Bring the kids down. You know what I
And
mean?
so our next meeting is. I just saw the date. What was it? It's before the tournament. What's the Wednesday before the tournament? The 16th, 15th.
Tournament's the 19th, right?
Right.
That'd be the
Saturday. So it'd be the 16th. So I think June 16th.
Yeah,
is-
June 16th is our next meeting.
June
Yep.
16th is our next meeting at the American Legion here in Cambridge, right on Route 50 by the bridge. Like I said, it's $50 to get in for the year. And, of course, we always have the discount. If you fish in all 4 tournaments, the club is free. And so, we'll get you hooked up with that.
What you really need to do to get that benefit is pay for the next 3.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get them
Yeah.
paid up, you know.
You
so we
can
know
do
what
it.
you're
I mean,
on.
you can do it. I mean, I've got all the signups are online now for all the tournaments, so you can do it that way, or you can sign up for the club in 3 tournaments. We'll figure it out. I mean, we'll get you straight.
Right.
It's basically you buy 4, get 1 free.
We definitely want you there, and we definitely want you part of the fun, and we want you there. I can tell you the thing that I really loved about was it the American Legion? was the prices on the food. You know what I mean? I mean, the hot dogs were like $1.25. Nachos were like $2, man. Look, I got full on like $5, brother. You know what I mean? That was like hitting the jackpot for me alone. So, and they got beer there you can drink. I don't drink because I break out in handcuffs, but they got beer you can drink. They got other kinds of food there. I can't remember. Did they have liquor? Can't remember if they had liquor at
It's a
that
bar.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they got liquor there, shots. If you get too drunk, we'll drive you home. Make sure you get home safe.
No, we won't.
No, you won't.
We'll kick you out.
That's right. if we don't, they will. So, you got any one more for you?
No, I mean I really don't have any more one more. Here's I do want to just
sing?
yeah, I'm going to sing, but
we got to go through the winners of our giveaways real quick. The
winner. Hold on. The winners of the giveaways. This is what you need to know, okay? If you can't pick it up,
let us know.
Let us know, and we'll figure out how to get it to you, okay?
Because if you don't pick it up, it's going back in the pool.
Right. So you have 1 week to the next podcast to get your prize because we're just got too much stuff sitting down there that nobody's picking up. I'm not going to do the same thing that wound up happening with the crab stand when we did that and have 10,000 things left in December not to give away. You know what I mean? So,
Crabs don't keep.
So here we go. The winner of the fish scaler was Timothy Moorer.
Kapow!
The winner of the CCA LED snips was John Shine.
Kapow!
The first pack of old school baits, the gray ones with the show it, Gary, real quick. This pack, the dark ones with the glitter in it. That one was Mike Dunsmore.
Kapow!
The winner of the white high octane was Michael Gertler. Make sure I'm saying that right.
Kapow!
The winner of the second old school, the peach color ones, was TJ Henson.
Kapow!
The winner of the Nonthaburi was Patrick McCabe.
Kapow!
The winner of the Octane Frog was Mike Dunsmore.
Kapow!
The winner of the Trout Scout was Justin Sellers.
Kapow! Yeah, Justin.
And the winner of the Crabs was Matthew Martin.
All right, Matthew Martin, send me a personal message on my Facebook page so we can get you set up to get them crabs.
Oh, also our Angler Spotlight of the Week.
Yes.
That was Devin Michael. He called his... Oh, I lost my mic. What happened? I don't know. Oh, I know what it was. Sorry about that. Devin Michael caught his first of the year. And that was a nice fish. Good job, Devin.
And you can come down to the store and pick up a free Mepps lure that you can try when you're down here next time.
You going to give them the news before we sing?
About the crab prices?
No, about the orchestra.
No, go ahead. You tell him.
Kaz going on out. He's got an orchestra now. It's Kaz, Kenny, and the big AZZ orchestra.
So does that mean you guys are going to be in the background going doo-wah, doo-wah, or what,
Absolutely
bro?
Not.
Oh, man. Well, one day, folks, they're going to do it. I'm not going to expect it. I'm going to fall right out of this chair when they say yeah. So anyway, let's talk about crabs this weekend. Everybody who's been following the news and following stuff, crabs are just, they're high. You know, there's no amount of crabs here in Maryland, so we're paying to get them, you know. Even the stuff that's coming out of the south. I mean, you got the Gulf stuff that's been on a heavy shed. So they're not going to be the fullest, you know. You've got some stuff low on the East Coast. They're coming out of another shed. So
just shed last night, full moon.
Yeah, I mean, so you know that's the thing you got to look at. You know, here we're picking the crabs, separating them out. You know, twos, ones now. So we'll have some females. I'll have crab meat. I'll have rockfish fillets. I'll have shrimp. I'll have scallops. I'll have a little bit of everything up there at Maryland Line in Abingdon. If you need stuff for Abingdon, just try to get me an order so I can make sure we drop enough product down there so that it's there for you when you need it. Soft crabs are off the hook, and these soft crabs are absolutely amazing. They're soft as a baby's. Woo-hoo! So you're going to like them, you know what I'm saying? If you like soft crab sandwiches, it'd be a great weekend for it. So if you can't find enough crabs, we should have plenty enough, you know, soft crabs. I will also have some fresh, hand-picked Maryland crab meat. And why do I say that word fresh? Because you got people out here that are selling crab meat out of the south that's picked with a machine. We don't settle for shells here in Maryland, and we don't buy foreign crab meat and sell it to our customers. So the crab meat is not cheap right now. You're going to be looking at probably $49 for jumbo lump, $39 for back fin. You're probably looking at like $22, $23 on claw. So like I said, we've never seen prices like that. Last year I think we were like 35, 45, or no, 35, 25, and 12. So that just tells you the difference in price from last year. The other thing, too, is we don't have the pickers. They're not getting the visas, you know. Here's the good news. Our good friend Andy Harris has got some visas coming available, and he's making it happen. Thank you, Mr. Andy Harris. You do great things for us, and we see it. So we want you to know that. And we appreciate everything you've done for us. So that being said, Abingdon, Maryland are going to be open, but the crabs are going to be not cheap. I will get the post up with pricing here in the next, I don't know, hour or so. I've got the prices now, so I know what we're doing. We've been doing the podcast. I didn't get them until we started the podcast. So we'll get a post up for that. So Riley, calm down. We got that coming. Mike, we got that coming. Pat, we got that coming. That's all I can tell you. But here's what I will leave you with. I will leave you with the most world-famous Crabby Jingle in the world. Eddie, you want to start us off?
Absolutely not.
Damn, I wanted to fall out the chair. My crabs, they have 3 first names. It's heavy, full, and fat. And we only sell Maryland crabs. That's it. I'm not bringing 40-year-old crabs in here. My crabs, they have 3 first names. It's heavy, full, and fat. I'm not buying crabs out of Louisiana or anything like that. Okay? Let's go. My crabs, they have 3 first names. It's heavy, full, and fat. My crabs, they have a 4th name, Gary.
Absolutely. Mustard.
Holy shit! Bam! I just hit the floor. If you ask me where they're from, they're 100% guaranteed Maryland #1s. Do-ah, from right here. At the crab stand, here's a fact I know for sure you're coming back. Kapow! Kapow! Eddie's glad to get out of here. Kapow!